Good evening, it's 5:15, it's time for our meeting. Let's rise with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the roll call will show that everyone is in attendance. We have everyone here, but except for Carolyn, who is actually on Zoom, but she is available. And the first thing we have is a oath of office for a new police officer. Brad?
Thank you, Mayor. Brought to you tonight, Samuel Barber. He is our new officer. He started last Monday. He began field training today. He's originally from Waverly, Iowa, and he found a nice residence within walking distance of the department that he's occupying right now, which looks like it's a pretty nice place. He's happy to be there. He's a graduate of Hawkeye Community College and with an associate's degree in police science, and due to that, he'll be able to attend our shortened academy that takes place at Western Iowa Tech, and is ILEA certified through them. So he will attend academy starting September 21st. It's an 8-week academy instead of 16 weeks, so he moves the process along a lot quicker, and we're excited to have him on board and get him going.
All right.
You want to come on up?
Daniel? If you come up here, we'll administer the oath for you. I'll start by stating your name, please.
I, Samuel Barber,
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will enforce the laws of the United States,
and I will enforce the laws of the United States,
the State of Iowa,
the State of Iowa,
and the City of Carroll,
and the City of Carroll,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of a police officer
discharge all the duties of a police officer
of the City of Carroll,
of the City of Carroll,
as now
as now
or hereafter
or hereafter
required by law.
required by law.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Laura, tell the family they can get a picture with you.
They want to come to help, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Is she gonna do a picture?
Did you get it?
Samuel and family, if you guys want to do pictures, you can do them right down.
How would you do that?
Now we move. Jerry, you're in the picture.
I want you to realize you're sitting there in the picture. I'll let you know.
You might have another spare case.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. This includes the approval of minutes of the July 27th, 26th meeting, approval of bills and claims, report of the bid opening Parks Band Shell Project, cemetery tree removal, bid opening report. Is there any questions or anything from the
Yeah,
Council?
the Chamber of Commerce is planning on using that band shell for their 250th celebration
Good.
in October.
All right, great. So is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second by Jason, and Jeff seconded. Roll call, please.
Atherton?
Yes.
Seaman?
She's on.
Carolyn?
She might be muted on her side.
Do you have your mic on so she can hear you? I turned Jerry's on. But she said she texted me and said she's not getting the meeting. So, here we go.
So she's gonna have to, she's on the phone, she's gonna have to scroll over.
There she is. There we go.
He is,
She's answering her phone.
right.
Hey, do you consent to the consent agenda? It's your vote.
Yes.
Coster?
Yes.
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Bauer?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Should we, now it's the feedback. Should we just shut down Zoom for now? Or?
Yeah.
We're gonna shut down Zoom and just stay on the phone, Carol.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Ready? Okay. We'll move on to oral requests and communications from the audience. If there's anything anyone would like to speak about this evening that is not on the agenda, please come forth right now and do that. All right, seeing no one at this time, we'll move on to ordinances. First ordinance is Carroll City Ordinance, Chapter 69.08 Amendment, Quint Avenue, no parking sign, second reading. And Aaron. Or probably Brad.
I got this
Actually,
one.
Brad, sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the second reading for the ordinance on Quint Avenue at the intersection of 10th Street. It's to put no parking 70 foot north to the intersection for the center line of 10th Street on Quint. This is again just to help with some visibility issues that we've got complaints on in the location. Since the last meeting, I did send letters out to the two residences that it does affect with no feedback from either one of them, and have not heard anything else from anyone in the public either. So my recommendation would be to approve the second, waive the third, and adopt the ordinance for parking restrictions on Quint Avenue near 10th Street.
When was the letter sent out? Like how long ago?
Tuesday after the meeting. So they should have received it by the end of the week last week.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve that.
Do you want to also waive this
Waive it, yeah.
third reading? All right, is there a second?
Second.
Or has Jason made the motion, Jeff seconded? Roll call vote, please.
Bauer?
Yes.
Seaman?
Yes.
Coster?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yes.
Atherton?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you.
I'd make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Jeff made a motion to adopt, is there a second?
Second.
By Jason. Roll call, please.
Taylor?
Yes.
Bauer?
Yes.
Seaman?
Yes.
Atherton?
Yes.
Coster?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yes.
Ordinance is adopted.
All right, thank you. Moving on to resolutions. First resolution is Kemper One Campus Project. And Aaron.
Thank you, Mayor. What you have before us is an easement for Kemper's one project, which is expanding their connection from the middle school to the high school over top of Bluff Street. To allow for that, we require an easement to have them do that. Mr. Steffes is here if we have any other questions for Kemper, but all in all, I think it's pretty straightforward and would recommend approving that easement.
Or setting the public hearing.
Or setting the public hearing, excuse me.
Make a motion to set the public hearing.
Or approve the resolution.
Let's see. All right, the public hearing for August 24th, correct? Okay. All right, is there a second? Jason made the motion.
Second.
Jeff seconded. Roll call, please.
Seaman?
Yes.
Bauer?
Yes.
Coster?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Atherton?
Yes.
Dirk?
Yes.
Resolution is approved.
Thank you. We'll move on to the the next one is the Ziggler Urban Renewal Plan, and Aaron.
Yes, we need to open the public hearing, if we could.
And the time for the public hearing is 5:26 PM, and we will do, I'll open the public hearing, but we're going to do this with, if anyone wants to comment on this, go ahead, and then we're going to close the public hearing before we have comments from up here, just to make it smooth. So is there anyone that wants to speak from the public?
You want me to just give a little bit of update?
If you'd like to, yes.
The new development agreement is due to the city or county assessor not being able to sign off on the agreement between the city and Ziggler Caterpillar on the minimum assessment agreement. So this this in effect leaves the minimum assessment agreement in place. They're agreeing to pay as if they were assessed at the $5.5 million, but their minimum assessment will be the minimum assessment of $1.5 million, plus they will then pay the difference of that agreement, which essentially is $100,000 on an annual basis. So at this point, if I
Okay.
have any other questions for now, or
Okay.
go ahead and open the public hearing.
All right, we'll open the public hearing at 5:27. And is there any public comment at this time? Come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. Mark Beardmore, 2625 Forest Street.
Hey, Mark, before you start, if I may, I would like to wish you a happy birthday on
Thank you
behalf
very
of
much.
myself and everyone else here.
That's, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it very much.
Made another one. Way to go.
Many more to go, we hope. They're pretty special these days.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's not part of your time,
It-
Mark.
No, but afterwards it could be, if it's down the street. You know, I just want to add a layer of transparency to this. I've been actively outspoken against this whole thing since it shrunk so dramatically. But I mostly have questions, and then you don't have to answer them right now, but during your discussion, if you would please, and these aren't any real particular order. But I'd like to know if it has been calculated what the exact cost to the taxpayer is. I know we're gonna give them a 1.1 forgivable loan, but has anybody calculated what that actually costs the taxpayer? And I'm just curious to see if it matches my number. Where I'm going with that is it so often comes out where it's through TIF or through local auction or whatever, it's commonly said, well, it really doesn't cost the taxpayers. In this case, it does, ladies and gentlemen, because, for an example, I'm gonna go ahead and just answer my own question. To illustrate, you just took out a $9 million bond last month. If you would have applied that $1.1 million in cash that you're gonna give to somebody else, you have reduced the burden on the taxpayers by $243,000. So yes, it does affect the taxpayers. You gotta pay back that levy, okay? The next thing is, and I'm really curious with this one, again, you don't have to answer it now, you can wait for your answer. Why are we calling this a forgivable loan? When it does have a repayment feature to it, I'm just curious, and it might have a legal connotation to it, but a forgivable loan to me and all the business I was in was essentially a grant or a gift. And if this truly has a repayment clause, I would suggest and plead that that language gets removed out of there so that it's clear to Ziggler and any of their suitors or followers or stockholders understand that it does have a repayment figure, okay? So it's essentially an interest-free grant or loan, but if it's truly forgivable, that means they could walk away from it day after tomorrow. So I want to compare this to the Echo deal, which I didn't come here and speak against that because that one made sense. That was just to refresh everybody's memory, that was a 5-year TIF payback on that one. And we essentially gave them, it's a rebate, and it's essentially a little over $100,000 what they were given. And on a $2 million building, compared to a 1.5 here, which the Echo building will generate $50,000 a year in city tax and has 13 jobs, whereas the Ziggler Cat is going to generate about $36,000 once the TIF goes off, just city revenue, assuming things remain the same, and just 6 jobs. The Echo building is 21,000 square feet, whereas the Ziggler Cat is just 7,400. So it's certainly not a very consistent policy with the council as how they're approaching some of these economic development offers. And then the last one is, it's in the memo and it's also in the development agreement, and it's just not real clear to me, but I would also like it to be addressed. What it means, there's language in there, I think it's in the last paragraph of the memo, where it says that if any other customer connects to it, that will be taken off of the loan, and I would just like that to be explained for full transparency. Okay? Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? All right, thank you, Mark. We will close the public hearing. It's 5:32. So, Mark, the first question you had, the attorney that we did have an attorney make this official. They are the ones that used the verbiage that you questioned. So I can't answer to why they would do that, but I'm gonna trust their legal acumen to do things the way it should be done.
Can we ask them? I trust a lawyer like I trust a realtor, love them to death, but I mean, they gotta sell houses or used car sales. I mean, you know, I mean, can we find out what, no offense to you, but like, can we find out why that terminology was like, I think it's a pretty valid question, why that terminology was used?
Probably not this evening, no. I could not. They're not available online or anything, so.
Or could you, I guess, could you add on to it, Dave? I mean, maybe do you have any, like, I don't
No,
know.
Jason, I wouldn't want to comment on that. I'm not the author of the document, so I would, I'm at least smart enough not to comment on somebody else's
Yeah,
document.
no, I get it, okay.
Okay, anything else why a forgivable loan, I guess, would be another question. You asked why, clarify that, just why a forgivable,
And again, I'm not gonna compete with a $500 an hour attorney.
Right.
But common sense tells you if it's forgivable, guess what? It's forgivable.
I think it's spelled out in the agreement itself, though, that certain things, all the provisions of the contract apply. So in order for anything to happen, it has to meet certain criteria. I can't answer your question
Would you put
specifically.
your 1.1 against that, Jeff?
I wish I had it. But no,
But if you did,
I get what you're saying, but,
It needs to be stricken.
well, and I think we can ask that question of what they mean by that, but everything in the, if you read the contract, which is pretty comprehensive, everything is spelled out that this has to happen in order for this has to happen, in order for this to happen. Like the one question about the last question you asked about when people hook on, in the event somebody hooks on, this will happen. Does that make sense? There
There are certain things that have to happen, I get that, but that word forgivable underscores everything.
I think you're probably right that it's more accurately an interest-free loan.
So why don't we just call it that?
again, it's not our wording here.
Well,
It's,
this is the same attorney we've used before that we have found fault with before with other agreements, okay? Have we not? Yes.
Fine, we.
You. Okay. Yeah, but we also agreed, members of this council said we're not gonna do an agreement like that again.
We have said that,
Doesn't have teeth in
but we have said that numerous times up here.
it.
okay,
So,
AI just told me that the developer must hit exact target lists in the contract. Forgivable is referenced as them meeting all of the target agreements within the development agreement. As long as they meet all of the criteria of the agreement, then essentially the contract is forgivable and of end. So essentially, I think they're using that verbiage as a way to state that upon completion of the development agreement and the terms, it is then forgiven. Sorry, that's just what AI told me, but.
all right,
okay.
thank you.
And any other questions? I still have.
What else was there?
I'd like to comment about your logic on how it compares to the
Oh.
Echo deal. And then I also want to explain about what hooking on and how that is going to be credited back to the forgiven loan.
Well, I can comment from my personal opinion on the Echo deal is that you'll never find two identical deals ever. It's never going to happen. So I don't know how it would be fair to compare the two. That's not even in the same time frame as this, because this is years. This is okay. but things can change, in my opinion. I could never find another deal and say, oh, it's exactly like the Ziggler deal. We'll never have one exactly like this in the future. We'll never have one again like the Echo. It's just not going to happen. So to expect them to compare favorably or identically, like you're asking, I don't see how that would be possible. So that's my feeling about it. If anybody else wants to comment.
I don't agree with that. I think that there should be somewhat of a standardization that we deviate from per deal. Like I mean, perfect example, if I was gonna go buy a car and I had a choice between two different cars, right? I'm gonna pull it up and look at the details on one car, the details on the other car, and do a pros and cons of where we're at. Like this deal has, I mean, imploded. It's probably the only word that I can use, to a degree that it isn't even recognizable from what was delivered to us originally. Not even recognizable. Like, and my question is that we have other comparisons of deals, kind of like the Echo thing, that are somewhat, there's different variants from them. Why are we not even using that as just a straight basis of, I mean, right? Like, we can't forget about history, right? But I mean, we use it to refine what the future is ultimately going to become. We haven't even looked at that to see, man, this deal's here. This is, you know what I mean? What were we thinking to help us move forward, right? I mean, to just completely ignore what happened in the past, that, you know what I mean? That negates everything that we do for our age, from our jobs, from our, you know what I mean? That negates everything. If we don't look at, we like to talk about, man, I've been in this job for 30 years, so I kind of know what happens. If we're going with that avenue or approach, none of that matters right there. You know what I mean? So why wasn't it looked at as this one being just somewhat of of like at least a standard? And how do we deviate so far off of what that was when this deal imploded?
Again, you certainly you can use that as a basis for your opinion. Was it used as a basis? No, I don't think it was. It started as a different project. This is why we had to rewrite the entire thing. This is a whole new project. You said it's unrecognizable.
We rewrote it because it imploded. It literally imploded. I mean,
it changed, but you can use whatever verbiage you want.
We went from a $30 million project, right? With, how many jobs was it? 20 to 60 jobs, right?
Right.
And we are now at a $1.5 million valuation with 6 jobs.
Correct. And this is what we have to decide on.
What word would you use instead of imploded?
I'd say altered.
I would say a catastrophe happened in this deal. Like, I mean, literally a catastrophe happened in this deal. And so I think that you should. My other question is going to kind of caveat off what Mark is. If any other customer connects to this infrastructure by Ziggler, Carroll, LLC, that connection costs will be credited to the total loan of the agreement.
Say that again. No.
Here, I'll hand it to you.
Okay.
It's right there, highlighted on the bottom.
So I'll answer that question.
Okay.
The costs that we charge to a new customer when those customers connect will be credited to Ziggler to that loan itself, because we'll be receiving money from a different source towards that same infrastructure cost.
So that's where the forgivable loan comes from, is.
So going back to where this project started, the project started with, we needed to get infrastructure to Ziggler Caterpillar. That has never changed. If we look into the future as far as our growth of the city, we need that infrastructure out to the west of the Middle Raccoon River. Thank you. West of the Middle Raccoon, which is the largest cost of this entire project, moving the infrastructure from where it's at currently across the river to the Ziggler Caterpillar property. That is the cost, and why the difference between the extension of Echo, which was, I don't recall, but a short distance that had to be extended from wherever that one ended to the north side of Echo's building, whereas this one, the agreement was, and that's why the difference in cost also, the agreement was we would pay for the infrastructure to go from where it currently is to the east property line, and Ziggler would pay for the difference to go from the east property line to the west property line. So that the actual cost for the infrastructure is $1.5 million. We're paying for, or giving the money to Ziggler to put our infrastructure in, which is from the current location to the east property line.
So you said a key word in there, you're like looking towards the future. In order to look towards the future, been to a lot of leadership classes and things of that nature. In order to look to the future, you have to look at the past for a basis. You know, and I'm not gonna drag this out. I think everyone knows where I kind of stand on this. It's just, when we go into these deals, we have to look at the past to dictate what the future is. Otherwise, we're just blindly going into these things.
The past of what?
Our past deals, like, I mean.
Past deals or the
I mean,
past?
we can look at past deals, like numbers, like, I mean, anytime you make a deal, you should look back at, like, this is what happened last time and see the results of what happened, right? History tends to what? Repeat itself, correct?
I'm
For the
looking
most
at the-
part.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
like-
at the past of Ziggler. Ziggler, I go to these state meetings, and I was at the one last year where Ziggler had a booth, and I talked to him about this. Yes, the farm economy is hurt. They've backed down. They're still, their goal, long-range goal, is to be that big building with a lot of employees. You know, obviously, this has changed, and yes, the LOI turnaround is gonna be less, but you know, it's 10 years regardless, because now, or 11 years, because whatever tax increment we get, if it doesn't meet the 100,000, they write a check to get 100,000. Same thing as it was at 5.5 million.
Laverne, I can't, me personally, I cannot believe that you're still standing behind this deal that you originally brought us to where it is now. That's just my personal opinion. If you want to stand up here and defend that, that's on you. Like,
So I'm defending the fact that we
Yeah.
have Ziggler coming here now. You know, if you're gonna say no, you probably should have said no a long time ago before they're where they're at now.
Oh, Laverne, I've been saying no since this thing got taken, like, so, yeah, I mean, I've probably, in this deal, I've probably been the only one that was consistent. Whoa, this deal is exploding when it went from 30 million to 10 million to 7 million to 1 million. Like, dude, I've been the only one consistent. I will send you the videos that I've been the only one consistent in this. So, yes, I have.
What I'm really worried about is the fact that the precedent we're gonna set here. If we say no on this, when Ziggler, we said yes before. The thing has changed, I get it, but we're still gonna make it 11-year, we're gonna be out of debt on this in 11 years, and maybe faster if there's things hooked on. The same thing as it was somewhat before. What are we telling other industries in housing and stuff like that? What are we telling them that, yes, we said yes, things changed, now we're gonna.
Doesn't matter, nobody even looks in the past, like you guys just said, so I mean,
I think that you still, people still want to come to Carroll, right? We're still trying to invest in Carroll. There's a lot of private enterprise coming to Carroll too. My son-in-law, Kelly Brewpiper Grinding, just putting up the same size building north of Quants, right? He moved his company here from Mapleton is where it was started, right? He has probably 6 or 7 guys hired now. He has 4 or 5 trucks out in the state of Iowa. He goes all over. He's not asking for money. I mean, he's a young man. He's not a Ziggler corporation with 30-some locations and 2,100 employees. So I think, like, we are setting some precedents here that what are we doing are we going to do this for everybody? Like, what's your qualifications to get the 1.1 million? They have rural water coming in on the other side. Could we not do rural water here?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question.
They could connect to rural water, it would be a lot less expensive than this project. And then if they have rural water, they could de-annex, and then we would not have the property taxes that we would get over the time of that building for the rest of history, or the rest of the time.
And what's the process of de-annexing? They have to come to us and
They make a request and then it's gone. Yeah.
they just make a request, there's
I
no,
don't remember the entire process, I've been through it once.
but they just make a request and there's no vote, there's no nothing,
Yeah,
there's,
we can't stop it, no.
Once
If they
we have
request to
something in
de-annex,
it-
it's really pretty impossible to stop it.
And that's because it was voluntary to start with, is that correct?
Correct.
I have one question too, Aaron. So the city, the building permit that we gave to them, or was signed off in January, so that was for 997,000, just under $1 million on the building permit.
That could be.
I asked Laura for it today, so that's what it is, but that was filed in January. So even when we voted on this in May, we still, I mean, their valuation was just at $1 million then, give or take, right? Could be $1 million, $1.5 million, but they certainly didn't have a $5.5 million valuation when they came.
They still argued that they felt like their argument to the assessor was that it still should be assessed at $5.5 million. I don't know where they're getting it, I don't know what they're, but that was an argument they were having with the assessor just last, probably in June, I would guess.
And they're on, what, 29 acres, is that correct?
Adam, do you remember?
26 acres.
26.
About a $1.6 million purchase on the ground.
What's that?
3 parcels.
They're about 1.6 million into the property purchase. And the intent is for them to grow. They are not interested in selling off any of the parcels because we are having those conversations behind the scenes.
All right, we have any other discussion? All right, if there is no more discussion, I will look for a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the execution of an amended and restated agreement for private development by and between the City of Carroll and Ziggler Carroll LLC. Is there a motion?
So moved.
All right, by Laverne. Is there a second? By Jeff. Roll call, please.
Coster,
No?
Jerks,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Atherton,
Nope.
Bauer,
Yes.
Seaman.
Yes.
Motion approved 4-2.
All right, and we also will look for a motion authorizing or confirming advancement of costs for urban renewal projects and authorizing certification of expenses incurred by the city for payment under Iowa Code Section 403.19. Is there a motion for that?
Moved.
By Laverne
Second.
and Jeff seconded. Roll call, please.
Bauer,
Yes.
Seaman,
Yes.
Atherton,
Nope.
Jerks,
Yes.
Coster,
No?
Taylor.
Yes.
Motion approved 4-2.
All right, very good, thank you. We'll move on to the police officer employment contract. And Brad.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution to approve the contract that we have for Samuel Barber that you guys saw earlier tonight. This is pretty standard for reimbursement on training and expenses if the officer left before the end of the contract. We have this with all of our new officers when we put them through any training that the city takes on the burden for the expense for. And for the most part, people make it to the end of their contracts, and if not, we have had people pay out on their contracts as stated. So that's what I'm bringing to you tonight.
How much money do we save on this shorter class if we get these guys that come from like a community college or something like
The
that?
money is not a lot, to be
It's not a
honest
lot,
with you, a
okay.
couple grand maybe total, but we're saving on time.
Yep,
So
okay.
instead of the 16 weeks of training, we only have to go through 8 weeks of training. So it does improve our time to get our schedule back to an efficient number.
I thought I read the amount, and I thought it was a lot less. I'm obviously
Well,
wrong.
the
but-
academy costs have decreased too
Oh,
recently.
okay.
So I think the state academy right now is $5,000.
Okay, because I thought it was like north of 10.
It used to be.
It
Okay,
did. It
okay.
has. It is. The state's picked up a bigger burden of the chunk there.
All right. Anything else, Brad?
No, that is all.
Any questions from council?
Make a
Brett,
motion
and
to
this
approve.
hire is for a retiree, is that?
It was, yes, this was for Officer Heller who left. He moved to Florida out of state. He worked with us for almost 6 years, so but he's retirement age, so I don't know if you call it retirement or
Yeah.
not. But
Was there one other that retired since then as well?
had an officer who's leaving. His last day will be the end of this week. He's going to Audubon County.
Okay.
So we're in the process of backfilling for that position.
Okay, and Bellinghousing, that position's been filled?
That one's been filled, yes.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Jason made the motion, Jeff seconded. Roll call.
Taylor,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Seaman,
Yes.
Jerks,
Yes.
Coster,
Yes.
Atherton.
Yes.
Resolution is approved.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to amended agenda, the item added, resource enhancement and protection, REAP grant for Northeast Park and Chad.
Mayor. I'm sorry if no one can hear me. It's a little scratchy today. This is basically a resolution authorizing us to submit for a grant through REAP. REAP, all that money comes from the natural license plate sales as well as gaming commission receipts, excuse me. The project we identified for this would be a half-mile loop around Northeast Park. We took a look at several projects we have coming down the line, and nothing really quite fit the REAP grant application. There is a lot of stipulations for this grant. It is mainly for natural resources, trail projects, inclusiveness, a lot of things down those lines. Basically, the proposal would be a 5-foot wide concrete trail that would help connect the Miracle Field, Kellen's Kingdom, the basketball courts, the North Shelter House, and then just creating a nice big figure-8 style loop. On top of that, we propose putting 1 to 1.5 acres of native Iowa prairie, along with like butterfly gardens, having signage with educational purposes along the trail, and we really feel like this would connect really well in the development of a future shelter house at that area as well. So this kind of ties the entire park into itself. It's been on the back burner for a while. I know it was in the master plan for the Northeast Park, and I have talked to a couple of stakeholders, and we will make sure that all money is raised through other grants and fundraising for this. Working with the Tigas family, they have promised me the rest of the money, if this is accepted, will be raised for this project. This project and this grant is good for 2 years once accepted. I don't think we have acceptance back until maybe October on these, maybe a little later. So,
Do the funds become available this fiscal year then, or would it be next year?
I think that one goes by calendar.
Okay.
So yes, if we had availability starting January 1, I believe we could request upon receipts. So basically paying back any money or getting reimbursed for any monies total spent.
I guess the second question I have you guys had discussions with the people who live along the park there? I have to guess that there's probably differing opinions about how close this, like my old house, the sidewalk was gonna be real close. I was worried about my dogs causing grief for people. Have you talked to people that live along there to see what their thoughts are?
Yet. That will be a plan if this does end up going through and we get accepted. Obviously, there's going to be a while before construction can begin. You know, this isn't quite a shovel-ready project right now. Our intention for all the homes on the west side is to keep a good 60 yards kind of away from any property lines. That way, the privacy is respected of the people.
Chad, you sound like you're putting off those conversations.
It also stays away from the north end of the park, so.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second?
That's okay, I'll take it, but I just wanted to ask you one quick thing. If we were to get this award, do they give us the money in advance of us finishing, or does it have to be
It's usually
completed?
upon receipt.
Upon receipt of,
So we have to send them receipts.
Okay.
and estimates.
Oh, okay.
There's-
All
This
right.
being a REAP grant, there is a ton of forms just for reimbursement.
great, okay, that's all, and I didn't catch who was first. Jason and Jeff seconded. Roll call, please.
Coster,
Yes.
Jerks,
Yes.
Atherton.
Yes.
Seaman,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
All right. Thank you. We'll move on. There are no reports. At this time, we would like to enter into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.51C to discuss strategy with counsel in matters where the litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation. Are we free to do that, David?
Yes.
Okay.
We need a motion, or?
Yes, we
I
need
would
a
move to
motion.
go into closed session.
And Jeff made the motion, and Jason seconded. Roll call, please.
Taylor,
Yes.
Atherton.
Yes.
Coster,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Seaman.
Yes.
Okay.